Was it a lot easier than the forehand and the backhand?
Yeah.
Good, good. Well, now we're going to learn the different steps of the serve. But before we go into the different steps, we need to establish some serving rules. The first one is that you're going to stand on the far right or the far left of the court. So Libby, you're really close. Can you back up just a little bit? Right. There you go.
There you go.
See how Libby is backed up behind the baseline and within the singles line still. You guys see that? So that's your position. You're going to be the same on the opposite side, whichever side. The second rule is that once you're in that position, Libby's serving the ball. She has to make it within the service box where Brent is on your opponent's side. The opposite service box from you. If it does not land within the service box, or it hits the net and then hits in the service box, it's considered a fault. And we only are allowed one fault. On the second fault, bless you, your opponent gets the point. Does anyone have any questions about the serving rules? No? Okay, good. So let's dive into the serving steps. So bear with us. The serving is very, very complicated. It's the most complicated swing, but if you listen and you mirror our steps exactly, it'll be a lot easier. We also, to make it easier, we also broke it down into stage 1, which I'll be doing, and stage 2, which is what Ben will be doing following me. So the first step within stage 1 is, of course, our grip. Our grip is the same. Where's the forehand? Make it be with your dominant hand. Put it at the butt of the racket. And your non-dominant hand, doesn't really matter because we're not going to use it. So now that we have our grip, we're going to get in our stance. Same stance, athletic position on the balls of our feet, ready to receive the ball, except now it's going to be a split stance, which means that your dominant foot is going to step back 1 foot. Now notice that all of my toes are pointed toward the net. It's different than the kickboxing because we're used to having that foot away from the net, but we want to stand and all your toes are toward the net. Does anyone have any questions about the grip and this stance first? No? Okay, good. So now that we're in our stance and we have the grip, we're going to hold our invisible ball. Our invisible ball is going to be our egg. With our egg, we don't want to hurt it. We're going to hold it at the pads of our fingertips very gently. So now we have our racket, we're going to bring our racket and our ball in front of us. The first step to incorporate our arms, we're going to bring our racket and we're going to drop it down and to make a U-shaped position until we show off our bicep. So let's do that. So we're going to make a U-shaped motion into our bicep. This is really similar to the pitcher's warm-up, if you guys are really familiar with baseball. So we're going to go to this position. Everyone flex your bicep. Let me see it. So strong, awesome, great. So the other thing that's complicated is that in the second part of holding it back to the second U, we're going to throw the ball up simultaneously. So when we throw the ball up, we want to extend our arm. That's how far we're going to throw it. That's how far we're going to be extended. And we're going to throw it straight up in the air. We don't want to throw it to the right or to the left because then we'll be chasing the ball. Or we also don't want to throw it too early or too late in our swing. If we hit it too early, then we're going to be rushed in our second stage, which Ben will go over. If we do it too late, no. If we do it too early, we're going to be waiting for the ball. If we do it too late, we're going to be rushed. So now that we have our swing, we're going to go down. Second part of our swing, we're going to toss the ball up, and we're going to land in this position. For right now, this is known as the modified Atlas position because it kind of looks like we're holding the world on our shoulders, right? So that's the end of stage 2. So let's do this one real quick. So we're going to hold the ball, go down to their U-shaped position, second half, throw the ball up, and land right here in our bicep position and our modified Atlas position. So just for that, we're going to practice the coaches that come around. Does anyone have any questions first about stage 1? No? Okay, so let's just practice it and then we'll incorporate stage 2 into our set. Just take 1 or 2 minutes. Good. Just make sure it's your bicep. We're not going to.
Yeah, did you see that? I was like,
there we go.
It's all the way back right now.
oh, we're not hitting yet.
Keep your toes pointed straight.
And also, when you're bringing your racket up, your dominant wheel is going to naturally rise. So if it rises, that's good. You get more power.
Oh, this is my thing. I'm good.
Okay.
Well, you think I'm volleyball.
Or just getting it super well from 2 to 6 years. Appreciate it. like come up, remember? Coming down,
But we really want to.
and then you're landing.
I'm sorry.
Good. Do it with me now. Right? Perfect. That's great. Well, it looks good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Well, I'm gonna make one adjustment. Instead of having your foot this way, let's point them. Exactly. Good. Just like that.
Thanks, Ben.
You're welcome. And then let's see it. Perfect. Just like that. I like how you're holding that egg nice and gently, gingerly.
Like in this little baby.
Yep. And then you've got a perfect backswing and you're landing in our modified atlas position. Very nice.
No, it was just me and
Yeah.
but yeah, I need to spend it, right?
Make sure you get that bounce, right? Toss the ball.
How's everyone feel with stage one? Very good. You guys understand the steps? Not too difficult, right? All right, so now we're gonna go into stage two. But before we go into stage two, I just want to stress to you guys and emphasize how important it is to really pay attention to these steps. Because this is definitely the most complex situation or steps that we're gonna have in tennis. So what's really gonna help you guys is if you're really paying attention to the steps and then you're mirroring along with me and my coaches to the side of me. Everyone got that? Okay, so before we go, let's all get back into our modified atlas position. Okay? Now that we're there, we're gonna move to the next position, what I like to call the back scratching position. So just like in the forehand and the backhand, we wanna get our racket between our back. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop our racket down and in between our shoulder blades, okay? Pretend like you got an inch between those shoulder blades. You just can't get it with your hand. You gotta use your racket, right? Get it, we're gonna drop it down and scratch that itch. You should feel that the racket is just dangling there right against your back. Everyone got that? We're scratching that itch. So our next movement is to start to move to contact. How are we gonna do that? It's nice and easy. What we're gonna do is what I like to call throwing our elbow. We're going to throw our elbow forward. Okay? We're going to throw our elbow forward towards the ball. So when we do that, you can see how my elbow and the butt of the racket are now facing the net. Okay? And now you'll see how your body's gonna rotate and now your whole body is gonna be facing the net as well. So let's do that one more time. Get into the back scratching position. We're going to drive our elbow forward, followed by our racket. Good. Now, we're ready for contact. So our contact cue is gonna be snap the racket. All right? So when we're in our back scratching position, we're gonna drive our elbow forward and we're going to snap the racket forward. Okay, think about your racket. It's like you're holding the whip, all right? And that ball, you're just gonna snap that ball as hard as you can with that whip. That's the feeling that we wanna have with our wrists and we're holding the racket is to snap it. Another way we can think about it is that if that tennis ball is a nail, and we've got a hammer, we're just gonna hammer that nail right into the wall. All right, everyone got that? So everyone snap that racket to contact. Now as you guys can see, my contact is on my head. All right, if our contact point is too far behind us, we're gonna sail the ball off the court. And if our contact point is in front of us, we're gonna drive that ball right into the net. So it all starts with the toss that Laura was talking about, having a nice toss in front of us and making contact just in front, all right? After we make contact, now is our last step. All we're gonna do, follow through, down to our opposite calf. Alrighty? So everyone understand the sequence of stage two? Let's go through that one more time, okay? So in our modified atlas position, we're going to drop our racket in between our shoulder blades. We're going to throw our elbow forward. Then we're going to snap our racket up. making contact in front of our body, and we're going to follow through down to our calves. Alrighty. How's everyone feel about that? Okay, for a minute here, we're going to let you guys practice stage 2 of the swing. Before we go right into our normal speed, let's take it slow. Let's get used to this. It's a little awkward at first. So start from your atlas position, work to your back scratching position, drive that elbow forward, then finish through contact. Alrighty? Go right ahead.
Follow through.
Good. Will, show me atlas. Okay, here's our next movement. We're dropping our racket between our shoulder blades. Exactly. So remember,
Ready to show me how to?
back scratch. So throw that elbow.
Can you guys both show me that?
Throw that elbow. Snap that wrist.
Let's go with rhythm. Let's go with rhythm. You coming here?
If it helps, say the steps out loud. Back scratch. Elbow throw. Snap the wrist. Follow through.
Atlas position.
Will, that's much better. Much better.
My guns are lacking.
Good. That's perfect. That's the right idea. It's pretty good.
Grab the elbow, hammer the nail, snap with it all the way.
Do it again.
Atlas,
One more time.
elbow, hammer the nail, fall through.
Good so much.
Thanks.
Follow this. Back stretch. Can I see that?
Fall through.
You're good. That's good. I know. I don't know why, because you're good. Try it again.
Okay, you're doing great. But you're like ruining your shoe.
Remember.
All right, everyone's attention real quick. It looks like a lot of you guys are starting to get it down. Stage 2, that is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move into putting stage 1 and stage 2 all together. Now I want to stress to you guys that our serve is one fluid movement from stage 1 to stage 2. So we're not stopping at our atlas position. Okay? We're going to start from our grip all the way up, tossing our ball, get into our back scratch, and down through. All right? So we're going to practice our entire serve sequence real quick. Make sure that if you guys don't feel comfortable with our steps, to take them slow. Okay, go through each step and then finish through. Does everyone understand what we're going to do here for the next minute? Okay, let's get into it. Now coaches are going to come around again and help you guys out if necessary.
Really remember when you throw the ball. That's the really key part, is the timing of it. So really practice using the invisible ball, okay?
Remember to go straight.
Yeah, you gotta run. Yeah.
You're going to be holding the ball through now. You want to back stretch. Holding the ball. Coming down. There you go.
Such a run.
I'm good. Some good split movements at you guys.
I know every time. I really want to hit you. I'm just frustrated.
Make sure we keep that nice firm grip the entire way.
Wait, no.
Scratch that back. Nice. That's much better. Good adjustment. All right, two things I forgot to mention, you guys, that's really going to help you out here. The first, for our accuracy, when we toss that ball up in the air, we want to keep our eyes on the ball the entire time. So we take our eyes off the ball, the chance of us actually hitting the ball decrease tremendously. So through this entire process, we're going to toss it up and watch it the entire way. Another thing, what I've been seeing from a lot of you guys, is that we're relaxing our grip during this whole process. Make sure we have a firm grip during our swing. What's going to prevent us from rotating our racket is if we squeeze this racket pretty hard. So squeeze that racket all the way through, keeping that grip and finishing through. All right, go ahead and go back to practicing. Try watching that ball the entire way and really squeezing that racket.
Laura, this is something I'm good at.
Yeah? Let's see it. Yep.
We found best strong suit here. Serving.
Can't wait to see you next
Step
time.
back a little more there. A little bit further.
Bam.
There, Will. Perfect.
Go, try go.
Dude,
One more
that's pretty
seat.
good. Thanks. Why? Where are you doing that stuff?
After you hit it, you're gonna follow through.
I know, it seems like you would.
Make sure you have
Keep your eye on the ball.
How'd you say you're ready?
You're ready.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I'll take one off.
Are we going
Alright? So show.
I don't think I like
Good. That's much better. Good adjustment.
so you don't bring it back as far? And I don't know. Like just the farther you bring it back, the kind of more power you use. And then you have more, you know, more movement. Yeah.
Relax down and then go. Yeah, so we're chopping it down. Then our elbow's going to come forward. All by the snap on the
Make sure you have it thrown up. I was just saying. You can use the ball to be thrown up. Otherwise, you have enough time to
That's good right there. That's a good adjustment.
keep your firm weight on it.
That's nice. That's nice.
All right, just a couple more swings here.
I planned that.
I can't wait to see you serve on Tuesday, Beth.
I can't imagine what
Here you go. More power you're gonna have.
You want to, you want to be like straight. Make sure you start here, open up there, follow through.
Okay, unfortunately, we are running out of time. What we're going to do is we're going to have you guys place your rackets back into the fence where you guys found them. And then we're going to go back into our baseline position sitting on the ground, and we're going to conclude class. Welcome, Guzman.
we all saw it.
Much appreciated.
Volley on the serve. Does anybody want to tell me what our first step for the volley is?
Step.
What was that?
Step.
Step, exactly. Step. What's the second step? Punch. What's the two things we want to remember for the volley?
Firm wrist hinges on your shoulder.
Good. But what about a racket head?
Over hands. Over your head.
Above our hands. And contact
In front of your face.
in front of the shoulder. Exactly. So what is the difference between our forehand and our backhand volley? What's the only difference that
Direction of the step.
we're going to cross, and everything else is exactly the same? Does everybody pretty much get the volley? And when are we going to do the volley? The only time we're going to do the volley?
I'm going to play a short ball.
Is when we're up close to the net. Does anyone have any questions about the volley? All right, Ben's going to go over the serve now.
Alrighty. So starting from stage one, what's our grip again?
The same as the forehand.
Same as the forehand? Okay. So now in our stance, we have a split stance. Righties are going to drop their right foot back right. Lefties will drop their left foot back with our racket in front of us. All right, we are gingerly holding that egg. Alrighty. Now we're going to make our U motion, just like a baseball player would bring the ball back to his shoulder. When this happens, we're going to toss the ball up. What's this position called again?
Atlas.
Atlas position. So our next movement then is to drop our racket and scratch that itch. Okay? Then what's next?
Elbow forward.
We're gonna drive our elbow forward. Now that my elbow, my chest, and the butt of the racket is facing the net, then we're gonna snap the, exactly, hammering that nail in and following through. All right, where's our contact point then when we're making our serve?
Above your head.
And in front of our, slightly in front of our body, right? And we're gonna finish down to our opposite calf. So does anyone have questions over our stage 1 and stage 2 serve? No? Well, I'm sorry that we did not get a chance to practice the serve. We thought it was really important that we actually get our steps down because it is so complex. It's really important that we know our fundamentals. So next class, we're really gonna hit hard onto that serve and get a lot of practice time in. Does that sound pretty good?
Yeah.
All right, so once we get that serve down, I think there'll be a good chance that everyone can make some money like Rafael Nadal does, that $5 million on the Pro Tour, right? All righty, so thanks for coming. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. Come ready to serve.
Actually, stay right where you are, Beth.